been a member of our church for 14 years. Our youngest child was only 4 years old when we joined. She's now 18. Our 3 children grew up in this church. I taught Sunday school for a few years and served on the Christian Education Committee. Now I serve on the Membership Committee. I recently got an email from Bruce Borner. The subject read stewardship. I said to myself, uh-oh, that time of year again. Poor Bruce, he has to remind people to give money. Not a fun job. I sympathized. No one likes to ask for money, and most people like me do not like to be reminded to give money. I opened the email. It was brief and to the point. 3 sentences. I was being asked to do a testimonial on stewardship. I reread it. Yes, that's exactly what Bruce was asking. Please, LMK, his 3rd sentence said. LMK, short for let me know. As I said, he was very brief. Right away, I thought of excuses why I was not the right person for this. I'm not very eloquent. There are a lot of other very eloquent folks in this church and fine public speakers. Plus, I don't have a good stewardship story to share like Judy did a couple of Sundays ago. Why do I give to our church? I just do it. It's the right thing to do. It's what everybody does, right? How else would our church function if we don't give our money and time? Then I did what most people would do today. I Googled it. I Googled stewardship, giving, Christian giving, Bible verses on giving, among other words. There was plenty of information on the subject. It didn't take long to confirm my feeling that stewardship has never been an easy subject to address. Until that email asking me to talk about stewardship, I confess that I never gave it much thought of what it really means and why my family and I give to our church. The next morning, I hit reply to Bruce's email, typed okay, and hit send. Brief and to the point, just like Bruce was in his email. In addition to my Google search, my spiritual antenna was raised, and I started looking for signs for what to talk about. Here's the final version. There were many. What I found on stewardship is nothing new, but it put the whole thing in a different perspective for me. A good place to start, I thought, was the definition of stewardship. According to Webster Dictionary, stewardship is the conducting, supervising, or managing of something, especially the careful management of something entrusted to one's care. Especially the management of something entrusted to one's care. So what are we stewards of? I believe it's everything we have that has been given to us by God, including our time, our money, our gifts and talents. The bottom line is, everything we have has been given to us by God. All our possessions are merely on loan. We're stewards rather than possessors. We came into the world with nothing, and we will leave with nothing. We're stewards of the earth. We're stewards of our family, stewards of our house and all our personal belongings. And we're stewards of our church. We own nothing. Mere stewards, not owners. Everything is on a loan. A friend recently told me that the only time he hears from church is when they need money. This phrase has a new meaning now that I did my due diligence on stewardship. The analogy I make to this statement is like a parent of grown children saying that they only hear from their children when they need money. For those of us with grown children, we know how that is. We most likely did the same with our parents. It's not that our children don't love us when they only call when they need something. We help out if we can because they are our children. And no matter how old they get, we are their parents. And as parents, we will give them advice, whether they need it or not, and help them out for as long as we live. And the day will come when we will need their help. We are stewards of our church. We are asked to give to our church, not just our money, but our time and talents as well. I love our church. I see God's work being done here. I love for what it stands and the good it does in our community and in the greater community. how it nourishes our souls and the souls of our youth. I was so moved by the youth-led service a few months ago about their experience on the last mission trip to Portland, Maine, to spend time with refugees. Each young person had a touching story about their experience. They spoke about the people they met, particularly the children they got to know. The refugees were not different from us, they observed. We're all God's children. Jess, one of the youth, ended her speech by saying, "Remember, when you appreciate all that you have, you'll live with more. If you focus on what you don't have, you'll never have enough." Such wise words from such a young person. The gentleness and the politeness, the humanity and generosity of the people in our church has taught me how sweet life could be if one takes time to be friendly and get involved in a loving community. Give, and you shall receive. That's true. The IRS thinks so too. Give, and you shall receive a tax deduction. Icing on the cake. I threw this in just to make sure everybody is still with me. When a poor man was giving a loaf of bread, he thanked the baker. But the baker said, "Don't thank me. Thank the miller who made the flour." So the poor man thanked the miller. But the miller said, "Don't thank me. Thank the farmer who planted the wheat." So the poor man thanked the farmer. But the farmer said, "Don't thank me. Thank the Lord. He gave me the sunshine and the rain and fertility to the soil, and that's why you have bread to eat." God does not need my gifts. Everything I have belongs to God. I would like to end with these words I found from my Google search on Christian giving. We give that God's name on earth may be exalted and expanded. We give that God's people may be helped, encouraged, and served. Let us use our spiritual radar and see how God multiplies our gifts many times over. Thank you.
Amen.